Click record, and then I'll post it on YouTube. So welcome everybody who is here. This is the artist talk for call and response special edition text, which is round 16, which is really cool. If you're just learning about call and response, Shoebox Arts, my team and I started it in March of 2020, right when the pandemic hit. We wanted to create a way for artists to collaborate, digitally, virtually, when we were all on lockdown. So, yeah, we set it up where artists worked together for 2 weeks, and one artist created one work, sent it digitally to the next artist, and the next artist created a work in response to that. And it goes on for 2 weeks. And so the last few rounds have been theme-based. We did the body, we did nature, we did text. The next one is time, which is more conceptual, could be more open-ended. I kind of have an idea for something I'm going to start with and, work on it with Shelly. So it should be kind of fun. Yeah, and it's 3 weeks long, so sign up for it. But today we're here to talk to the artists about text and, the work that they did. So what I will do is I'll share my screen and, share the work. If you want to talk about your work, go ahead and raise your hand using the reactions menu. Just click raise hand. And hopefully your partner's here too. And so that way, you can talk together. And if you're not here, actually, because this is WordPress, the one good thing, at the bottom, if you want to comment, when you look at this, when you look at the online exhibition, if you want to comment about the work, you can actually comment, which is really cool. So, and also on Facebook, because we're live on Facebook. So please, feel free to comment on Facebook too. So, all right. Let me go ahead and share my screen here. Can everybody see that okay? All right. Let's see. Let me make it a little, I always forget. I used to have 2 screens and I got rid of one because I was like tired of turning my neck and, looking at both screens, and the live, the sharing the screen and the live, it doesn't work the same as it used to anyway. All right, so we have, it looks like, let me see. And let's see, I think I'm going to go off of what my screen says, and it looks like Julie is first. So let's go to Julie.
Eva's first.
It got messed up. So
okay.
The way, we'll just go, because I know it was, I thought so, or I thought somebody was before, but the way my screen is, we'll just do it this way. So
sounds good.
All right, Julie, do you want to tell us about your collaboration with Rexy?
Oh my gosh, this was so hard for me. I don't use text in any of my work, and it was really hard transitioning. Rexy's first picture was really tough for me to relate to. And so I went ahead and made my response as a bunch of colorful boxes and just incorporated that is, I think it's Somali's number 1. It's an African language that means number 1. And I kind of just incorporated it throughout that particular painting. And he responded digitally, and it seems like we got stuck in the alphabet after that, and kind of went back and forth, and then he was gone. So I don't know what happened to him. He wouldn't respond to me, and I kind of got it by then. I started like printing out text and getting ready to incorporate it. Like I finally had my like big juicy idea. And he was gone. So after a week of waiting, I contacted Christine, and she said, you can just go ahead as is. But I ran out of time. And so this is what we came up with. Just kind of colorful alphabets going back and forth. But it really brought me outside of my box. Like now I have ideas in how to incorporate it in my work going forward. And so for the exercise alone, it was totally worth it. totally worth it. And I appreciate the opportunity. And that's all I got to say.
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, that's happened a couple times where like the partners ended up, you didn't hear from them. And last time, the artist just kind of kept going based on what they saw on the internet. I mean, on Instagram, what other people posted, which is kind of fun to do, just responding that way, you're still in it, which is really cool. And I love, that you played with the alphabet. I think it's fun. And, I mean, the biggest thing is like jumping out of your comfort zone to try something new. So, and you never know what ideas it's going to spark in the future. So that's the cool thing about call and response. So awesome. Thank you so much, Julie. So this is the order that I have right now. I have Sue, Eva Marie, April, Karen, Nino, and then Ashwarya. So Sue, go for it.
Hello, everybody. And I think Monica's here too, right?
Yes, yeah, Monica.
Yeah,
Oh,
I am
actually, let me
here. I'm going to hope that my internet holds out for this.
So I was super excited to be paired with Monica. And then when I saw her work, it was like, blown away.
Sorry.
So I just sort of use this as an opportunity to continue doing what I've been doing with mixed media collage. But then I sort of focused on sort of self-care and positive affirmations, but I wanted it to be more poetic. And since by day I am a graphic designer, I wanted to break out of what I normally do, which is really clean typography, just have some fun with it. And color is really important to me. And apparently so are circles, and chairs have been a theme forever for me too. And then just going back and forth with Monica, it was just like breathing, just so effortless and easy. And it felt like we were talking the same language. I don't know if you have the same experience.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't want to cut you off, but
yeah, no, I'm just so thrilled with how, I mean, look at it. It's so pretty.
it is. I was so inspired by Sue. I am not used to doing positive art, and it's just not. But then when I started responding to her work, first of all, I also love circles, and because I'm an assemblage artist, I was never going to run out of chairs to throw in there. So that was really, I was like, what? Just keeping track. Wait, which chair did I throw in there this time? And I just keep, whatever I did, I put a different chair on top. So there was a connection. There was definitely like when we spoke, there was a connection. And then when we were just speaking through art, there was a connection. And I started using it as affirmations, and I didn't realize that at first. And I wrote to Sue and I was like, these feel like affirmations. She's like, yes. And it also brought me back to my earliest work when I was studying to be an art therapist. And this is the kinds of things that I was doing and I was learning about and I was having other people do as an art therapist. And so I brought out my old collage box that I haven't used in years that has magazine cutouts and magazine words, and that connection from like my origin story too, going back into something that was a very important process, and that it's Sue's process now. I don't even know how to, it was great. And then we ended on, I was like, wait a minute, I was inspired, like I have all these little chairs, what if I just do everything on the chair? So I had this bench and I colored it in pastels to match the pastels we were using as much as I could. And then I came up with this one statement, which took longer than like anything else I did, that I wanted to have on this bench. And I just loved working with her.
Awesome. I mean, the cool, when I saw these, you can't even tell whose is whose. They're just so seamless, and no, it's a really, really great collaboration.
I really enjoyed it. Sue, thank you. And we're going to talk soon too, anyway.
Thanks.
And
Thank
you know,
you.
the funny thing, Monica sent me some chairs because I'm doing a chair thing on Instagram. So it's
I
so
saw
funny
that.
that
Yeah,
you
that's
use
really
chairs here
cool.
too. Yep.
Yeah, and the whole in the therapy world and the existential world of empty chair and what that means, and there's like we could do a whole show on just chairs.
Totally.
I'll just share one little story at the end. On the bottom row left, Monica had like a little chair, and I think there was like a little like a bokeh light, sort of a
Mm.
like a little
Oh, yeah.
green glow. And
Mhm.
I said, oh my God, that's really freaky, because I had done a whole series of photographs of chairs where I digitally added these round orbs of sort of like the soul of the people who had had the chairs in the past. And so in the middle one on the bottom row, I actually added a circle right on the chair to sort of signify the soul of the chair.
I love that.
Yeah. There are a lot of connections other than what was conscious.
Yeah, it was really therapeutic and wonderful.
Oh, that's great. That's exactly what I hope happens. So,
Yeah,
yay.
thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, both of you.
Thank you.
All right, Eva Marie. And
Hi, is Stacy here?
Stacy,
I don't see her.
Yeah, I don't think she is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, everybody. When I started this one, I just basically also don't work with text. So I just grabbed all of the old letters I had around from my kids' project days, the science boards, and the whole Roe v. Wade still really hits home with me because I have girls. So I just wanted to do something a little leaning politically. So I did the letters, keep legs closed. And then my partner responded with the word fuck, and it was using Keynote. So I've never utilized that platform. So I just did a single word, it, and then we responded. And I just kind of got stuck working with Keynote because I'm not that good at that type of platform. So what I turned around and did is I ended up submitting to her a photograph. And it was, again, of my daughter. And I had her throw these tiles in the air and just shoot pictures. What I did, though, is I did do the levitation for the word liberty, because, again, I feel like our rights are being stripped from us. And coincidentally, the tile of USA just happened to be what popped up. I didn't plan that. That just was there. So I went with that photograph after. There was multiple ones I picked as 1 and 2, but this was the third one I liked out of the series. But when I saw the USA, I was like, that's a slam dunk. And she responded with another video, and I think it said danger.
Yeah.
And then I responded again with a photograph because I'm more comfortable with photography. And I blindfolded my youngest daughter, and I put over it the text, "We the people." And she responded with, or actually, "Do you know why?" And then I forget, I responded again with another video. And then her last, I think I played with single simple words. And then she responded, I think, with dandy was the last one. So we decided to stop there. It was interesting. I also never worked with text or font. I love font, but I never work with it.
Yeah.
So that's all.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Again, it's like, you're trying new technology, jumping out of your comfort zone. So you never know where that'll lead.
True.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Christine.
You're welcome. And, again, let me put the link in chat. So definitely go back later and watch the video. Let's see. And, watch all the videos. So later on, we just don't have time to watch them all right now. So, and I saw your message, June, that Jeannie's coming in a bit. So, Awesome. Let's see. And we have April. Oops, did I? Oh, there we go. And there we go. And I think Adrian is like traveling or something, isn't she?
I texted with her, which is, you know, how we pretty much corresponded the entire time through text, which was nice. But she had said that she's gonna have some people in town, I think, or something like that.
Yeah.
She wasn't gonna be able to make it. And I asked her if she had anything that she wanted me to tell you guys, you know, to say for her on her behalf, but she never got back to me as far as there was anything that she particularly needed to say. So, so I had to start, and I just took the initial text that she and I had, and I thought it was interesting that we had both the same initial A, so I threw that on top of it. Yeah. And then she did this lovely handwritten letter with cursive. You know, I couldn't read out most of it, but I could make out some of it. And she asked about the hearings, if I was watching them, and, you know, which I thought was funny with this beautiful pink and lovely colors, asking about, you know, something of such a serious matter. And I've been wanting to stray away from this digital art that I had found myself falling into last summer, because it gets so hot here, and it's like, okay, I'm just gonna sit at my computer and do things because it's too hot to do anything else. And but I also got a digital camera not so long ago, so I figured I'd take some pictures. And with this one, I think I had an idea for something else, but it didn't pan out. So I quickly wrote something down on my hand, what I normally would buy at the store, you know, just a couple of things, the things that I need. And then she did this lovely handwritten note, and I looked over her Instagram, and she uses all these like very pastel paintings that she does. I think it's so delicate and so sweet, you know. But for the next one, I had these fortunes in a box that I had been collecting over the years, and I wanted to use them, so I just made a little like mini photo essay, you know, that to utilize them as best as I could. The next one she did, I don't know if it's a self-portrait.
I don't think so.
I don't know exactly, because we only spoke through text, so I don't know exactly what she looks like. So I don't know exactly who it is, but that cute little smile reminded me of my dogs. So, you know, I took a picture of my dog, and she had her harness on, which says Sassy Wolf. So I'm like, that's the text right there, you know. That fits in with the theme. And I mean, I try not to be insulting, you know, but hopefully it wasn't, because she didn't seem to be insulted by it. I'm like, look at this wonderful cute dog. She gave me a picture of her cute wonderful dog, and he's wearing a party hat, like it's his birthday. That's what I think she did the paintings, and then she, like, you know, then stuck those pieces on top, like the party hat on him, and this like metal Dannon yogurt label on the portrait and stuff. So I figured, if he's wearing a party hat, need balloons, you know, because you know, party hat, balloons, and I wanted to kind of like stay in the same color. And I had this abstract background that I had made, but I had never actually, it didn't seem right to post, to use, to do anything with. But it was missing this little girl with the balloons, you know, because once I put her on it, it seemed to make sense that it was there, balanced out the background and stuff. Her response, I think she said that she tried to stay within the same colors, with the turquoise, the teals and stuff. And she did this quilted image of I know I'm not going to pronounce it, so I'm not going to even try to butcher it either. But it was a Ukrainian, because she is part Ukrainian herself, and it's the patterns on the in the diamond shapes are what they paint on the Easter eggs. Like, okay. And to me, that just looked like a quilt or like, a tablecloth or something. And of course, I still wanted to stay within the text theme. And I had this idea and I'm all like, I'm going to try to make text into the quilted patterns. And I tried it with something else, with that Everything Everywhere All at Once movie, that title, like, okay, the 3 words, but I didn't like do anything fancy with the fonts or anything, but I'm like, okay, this could work, with the repetitive after I do that initial tile. And then I did that and I thought it looked so lovely, like lace or embroidery or something. Blue roses is what she took from it, and she continued on the thing with the wordings in the letters in the leaves. And then I just wanted to play with, text some more, see what I could do with it, see how I could build it on top of each other and stuff. And then she did this final piece, which I think is the loveliest thing ever. It's unlike her previous things, and it's unlike what she seems to have on her Instagram. And she said it's because she used the colors that I used in one of my pieces, in the text piece, like more of those moody colors. But it reminded me of downtown with the city and the mountains in the background, and the graffiti written on the handles of like the stairwells and stuff. But I really loved it. I thought it was a wonderful piece. Yeah, and I'm really sad that she's not here, because I would like to see what she looks like. And I would like her to say things about it, because she was really positive. If anything that I gathered from the text conversations that we had, she was very positive, and she was just excited about like going in which direction she can go next, depending on, what my response to her last call was. Yeah. So.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, no
And
problem.
she's participated in many of the call and responses too. And so she's probably in past videos. So you can probably
Okay,
go
if I
see what
want
she
to
looks
hunt her
like.
down. No, I'm sure I could hunt her down like through Facebook or find
Yeah.
something, like I'm not stalking her.
Yeah, totally.
It's more to hear her voice and hear what she had to say about the pieces herself,
Yeah.
'Cause I only have my opinion of her work, and I would be very curious as to hear what she said.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Awesome. Well, great collaboration. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Let's see. And we have Karen. And let's see.
Hello.
I don't think your partner's here. Let's see.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
He's based in Germany. So
Yeah.
it was at the very beginning, it was interesting because I would give him something in the evening and I'd wake up in the morning and he had a response. But I think interesting is the way I would describe this collaboration. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Joaz, I don't know. I'll just say he, because his website seems to refer to him as more of a he. It sent me this image of tulips, I don't know, in his backyard or something. There's light coming through and a fence, and there's a van in the back, and I was kind of stumped as to why this would come to me as text. And he said, think of the flowers as a metaphor for text. I said, okay. So I created the next one, which was taking a typewriter, and the keys on the typewriter are all the flower images, the initial of the flower is the letter on the keyboard. And the special keys are all pollinators. And I took an image that I had in my files of tulips at Descanso Garden and had that be the paper that was being typed on. And I set it on his background. So then he sent me this next one, which is, in my opinion, overexposed of dead irises. I don't know, maybe in his backyard again. I'm not sure. And not incredibly impressed with that. So I took the idea of iris and I looked for a quote, because I'm not really an author myself. But anyway, I looked for a quote that had irises in it, and I found something from The Handmaid's Tale. And he sent me an out of focus pink frilly flower. So actually, let me go in on this side because I have it here. The haiku says metaphorical representation in text, editorial. So my thought was that the iris piece that I had done looked kind of meme like, and I wasn't really very pleased with it. So I wrote a haiku. Then he sent me back a screenshot of an ad for a power drill that had pink power. That was his response to mine. So the next one I did, I said pink is power, using 2 different photographs to have that text. And then I also, in addition to that, because I thought that the drill itself looked kind of fun, I made a mandala of the pink power drill and the power box drill. The smaller one is the power box drill. And the, let me see, the text on there says things like keyless chuck, forward lock and reverse button, easy release tab, all stuff that was taken from the ad that he sent me. So he responded to the mandala with a blank wheel of fortune. And then I went back to initials representing the initials of the flowers representing the letters, and created a pink wheel of fortune set complete with Vanna and whatever his name is. And Pat, yes, I don't watch that one. And it says, I've got a secret.
Oh, I was going to say, do you want us to guess?
No.
What does it say?
It says, I've got a secret.
Oh, okay.
And where we had started out really quickly at the beginning, I thought we were ahead of time. And then when it was time to do the things to submit, we hadn't made it to 14. So this is as far as we got.
And that happens sometimes.
Yeah, I'm pleased with the work that I created. Yeah, it was an interesting experience.
Yeah, everybody comes to it, differently, more conceptually, or, just like finding what they have, or, so yeah, it's just,
I just felt that he may listen to this again too, but I felt the effort wasn't there on the other side. It didn't, I don't know.
And, we put this together, we say, it may take you 5 minutes to do something, or it may take you 2 hours. And so, it's not about, we didn't want this to be about making the perfect thing. We just wanted it to be about being creative, and being able to.
And we did, we reacted to each other's, and we corresponded a bit, and it expanded my thinking, which was what I do these things for.
Perfect.
I don't think my next body of artwork's coming out of this collaboration, but you never know.
Exactly. I don't know. There may be typewriters or Wheel of Fortunes in your.
Now it's very funny because I looked at past call and responses, and he has done at least one other before, and the one I found, the person responded with typewriter.
Oh, funny.
And this was after I had already done that. So I was kind of curious how, if that had looked like what his responses were to someone else's pieces.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were consistent. So this is how he works. And it was just different. I mean, looking at his Instagram, his stuff was totally different than what he gave me, which is totally different than the way I work. So
Yeah. Yeah.
but
I mean,
it's about stretching.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Karen. Okay, Nina, let's see. Where is it? Oops. Why didn't it just come up there? Oh, there we go. All right, and Shwari. Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Well, that was really amazing collaboration. Somehow it was so in flow, and like I don't know, we did it really fast because like the moment I was looking at the artwork, I just knew what I wanted to do. It was so inspiring somehow. And lately I'm writing poetry and she writes poetry, and the whole collaboration somehow for me seems like one poem. Like it's kind of, yeah, it's like one wow. And what we exchanged also, somehow there was very nice connection, and I really appreciated that.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mhm.
I would like to add that I couldn't ask for any better partner because it's been more than something I expected. And we see how arts and culture is encapsulated in the format of terms and conditions. And here we are doing like the how tables have turned. It has been a beautiful journey throughout. Like I write poetry, but curating into a concrete form in and on the way is something beyond experience. And subduing in the creative tendency is something what we seek for. And when it goes with the flow, it's something we can just appreciate and accept the way it is. And it has been even better with Nino because she's like just so awesome and just so thankful for her. And moreover, I'm thankful to you, Christine, for hosting this again. And good luck to you all. That's it.
Thank you. Can I ask you both where you're from?
I'm from
I'm from
Tbilisi,
India.
Georgia. Yeah.
From India and from Georgia?
Yeah, country
mean,
Georgia.
Yeah, how cool is that? You know, that,
Yes.
you know,
We
like
had like
there's this connection.
2 hours difference. That's it.
Yeah.
Perfect, which is perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, somebody in
Yeah.
Los Angeles connected you too. I love that.
Mhm. Yes. So cool.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's awesome. And yeah, no, lovely, lovely collaboration. So
Thank
thank you
you.
both so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, and let's see, we have Jeannie and June.
Jeannie's not on camera yet.
She was a second ago. I'm sure she'll be back in a sec.
Yeah.
Start.
Well, she's there. Oh, there you are, Jeannie. There you are. Who wants to go? I guess I go first because I was first.
You're
in the-
unmuted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. How should I begin? So I basically was really affected by the Roe v. Wade ruling. And I have twin daughters who were 28, and I felt like this would seriously affect them. So that's where that came out of. And I was also thinking of one of my daughter's friends who's a fantastic text artist, Lucasa Bramfman. That's all her work is text related. So I think I was thinking of her when I did this. And the very day that I did this first piece, I was in a writing group where someone said the sentence, "How long before they don't allow you to speak?" So I stole that sentence for this because it hit me and it felt right. So that's, that's how we started off. And then I kind of felt like Jeannie was like, "Cheer up, June, get out of that, get out of, at least that's how I felt. We never talked about it. Our communication was back and forth with Art, and her photo is live, love, laugh. It was like, she was trying to cheer me up. And the other thing that I did right about the same time is I stopped having alcohol, sugar, and coffee.
Wow.
I know. So I was dealing with that. So I do think my writing and my mood were influenced by it. And also, while I was in the process of doing this at the beginning, my boyfriend, who has a heart condition, who I've been very careful with for over a year, got COVID. He's okay because he's fully vaccinated, but that affected me. I started drinking again.
No.
But not a lot, just a little wine. But that, so I was rather moody during this going back and forth, and I've had a kind of a tough year of caring for someone who's got dementia, which I didn't write about that in here. But so basically, we're both writers. I also, when I first started doing, we've both done about 10 of these. And when I first started doing it, I wrote, and then I went, everybody's doing visual, I've got to draw. And I had almost majored in art in college. And so it kind of inspired me to be art, to get my drawing going again. So I wrote and I drew after the first couple. And I was inspired by a word or a phrase in her piece inspired mine. And I went deeper than I thought I would. I went places I didn't think I would go. I was like, why isn't she talking about rights? Because I started with rights, but I brought it back in the end to a bit to that for myself. So, but I really enjoyed working with Jeannie. But we enjoyed writing together.
That's awesome. And it's so cool that you're both writers.
Yeah.
It was really a great process. Am I on? I can't tell.
Yeah, you're on. You're
Yes.
Okay. Good. I'm on my phone, and I thought this was tomorrow, so I wasn't super prepared. And I'm like, wait, are you on? And so yeah. So anyway, yeah, I also loved working with June, and it was interesting to me because I was unexpected at first to, her first piece really was like an art piece with the words. And so then it was interesting to me to see her poems and her other writing that came out of it. But what was funny is I took it very literally at first. I was like, well, okay, we need to have only images of text. So that's why my first photographic images are like text or signs and stuff. Whatever I saw someplace that was like, well, that could kind of fit, I'll put that in. So I was, yes, to sort of respond to what June said initially, I was just like, well, I was sort of I wasn't really so much trying to cheer you up. I was sort of trying to be ironic, with that piece, I thought while all of this stuff is going on, we're being told we have to do, be cheerful or whatever. So, but it just sort of evolved that way. But the interesting thing for me is where I ended up going from the very personal to going to a more sort of a global thing, because what was really striking me at the time was all the climate change stuff and how, reading these various articles that basically said, none of this matters. Everything that we're doing or protesting or fighting for, whatever, it's not going to matter because we're destroying the earth. And so that really grabbed me, that whole idea of oh, this is all very ephemeral. We're being allowed in our limited way to protest these things that aren't going to stop the juggernaut of climate change, because that would slow the accumulation of riches. So we can't just stop producing oil or develop solar cars or whatever it is that we could do. There's many things that we could do, but we're doing these other things because we're allowed to distract ourselves from the very, very biggest issue. And so that was kind of where I came around to, was from going to like, okay, this is the irony. We're supposed to be cheerful in the face of all of this horrendous ugliness that's being foisted upon us, to like, none of this really matters because there's no stopping what we're doing to the earth. And then your last poems and things, your last poems and things were particularly those beautiful paintings that you did. Oh my God, I thought the watercolors were just gorgeous. We're really like more hopeful and more about kind of like, the earth and healing yourself and healing things. So that was kind of where I tried to go to at the end. So it was lovely to work with you.
It's so funny that I didn't realize you were being ironic.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how you would necessarily know that, but it was like, I saw that sign like on somebody's wall and I was just like, okay, that's crazy, so yeah.
No, it's funny because I tend to be very gullible and very like, if you say something, that's what I just didn't get it. My kids are like, I don't always get it when they're being sarcastic. So
it was funny.
It's very,
yeah. But no, it was delightful to work.
I really enjoyed working with you.
So
Thank you both so much. And for everybody, go back and read the poems, when you have time. They're wonderful. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you as always, Christine, because it was great.
You're welcome.
Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
creating this, Christine. It's been great.
You're welcome.
And now I'll still be here, but I'm going to mute myself and turn off my video.
Okay. All right, Megan.
So we forgot this was happening. We didn't communicate at all. And then on like Thursday, I hit her up and I said, are we still doing this? Like, do you want to, like, I gave her like 3 options. Do you want to bail? Do you want to do it? Do you want to speed round it? Like, like, how are we going to make up for lost time? So again, with the Roe v. Wade, like my first image, you can't really see what's going on in the images, but the first image says, I need to vent, and it's got a Pennsylvania quarter kind of in the top. Pennsylvania is one of those states that can go either way. I'm from there, and my friends there are very, very frustrated. So I started off with that. And then she has a signature style in the second image that you can see. And I had a hard time reading things. So I kind of just went for the text and responded to the text like kind of visually. So she's got in here, quiet. I still feel that way too. And then I responded by spelling out relax with Klonopin. So Klonopin's an anti-anxiety drug, and I like painstakingly turned all the pills into letters. And this one says relax. And then she did her signature style again, and she said, what the hell did I just something? And I can't remember exactly which words are in there, but I had to ask her what I was reading because I couldn't make it out myself. But it was something about, it led me to think about Donald Trump. And so I was out on a walk and I saw this on the pavement and it says go to jail. And then the other image is Donald Trump, and his number is 010621, which is the day of insurrection, right? And then there's like this heart and this couple up at the top. So it's just like so much imagery that happens. I live in the arts district. So this is just like what's on our sidewalks. And then she responded with High Heeled Boys, which I didn't know was a Traffic song. So I looked at the band, I read the lyrics, I tried like everything I could, and I wasn't getting anywhere. So I typed it into AI, and I had AI make that image for me of like these like weirdo aliens on top of like what look like shoes, maybe. I don't know. And then I was reading through Playboy issues and I stole the text from a Playboy from like 1969 or something like that. And it was talking about that man, because it's like all about this high-heeled boy, like this man with money who can do what he wants kind of thing. And then she responded back with this in a question of balance and murder. And there are also like 3 other images there too, because we didn't really stick to a rectangle or a square or anything. It was like whatever size it needed to be, we kind of just made it that size. And I responded with my dad died in 2010. and he received a flag and a letter from Barack Obama, and then I included his military ID there too, kind of coming back to, I forget what it all spells out, but it spells out something that I went like war, and then she went war as well, leave the empire alone. And at that point I was like, I think it's time for a vacation. So like I put this gorgeous image of like the sun setting inside the clouds, like seen from a plane, and it just says it's time for a getaway. And then she sent me a found journal kind of letter from a camp counselor, I think, from one of her campers, and then a Keith Haring poster on the other side. So I responded to journal on the left side, and then color theory that kind of matched the Keith Haring on the right. And then she ended it with, "It's not what you wrote, it's how it's read." And that was our experience. But we were in constant communication back and forth once we got it rolling, which was really cool. And yeah, it was challenging in a different way. I mean, I don't make art at all like this. So I fell back on like, like kind of like undergraduate fun. And also I have like a photography degree from undergrad too. So I just fell back on photography myself. But it was fun. Fun to play with AI.
Yeah, totally. I know a lot of artists that are doing that. But yeah, I mean, I find that, it's not even the finished work, but it's the process,
Yeah.
like how things come together, whether it's the research, the experimentation. I think that's my favorite part. And it looks like you both did that, really, really well here.
Yeah, I had a good time.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Is this your first time, Megan?
Yeah, first time.
Oh, okay. Well, welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. All right, Anne.
Oh,
there we go. Oh, you and
okay,
no one,
so
Ruby's not here, I don't think.
I don't think so, no. I just realized that everything Ruby sent me was a selfie. And then I reacted with taking things from the selfie or words that she wrote upon the selfie, and then bent things into letters or created words. Is it possible to click on an image because mine are so cropped? So those were I can't even read handsets. I can't remember what those things are called.
I think, yeah, handset.
Anyway, so the first one I did, busy signal. You can go fast through these. It's okay.
Let me see. Oh, there we go.
So next it was an envelope. I took the no connection. This, I couldn't tell what her scribble was down at the bottom, but I just copied it and then put it around flowers. And I think it was much. And then she came back with this. I did that one. So it was a lot of, she kind of directed how I responded, I think, is what sort of happened in here. But it was fun. It was fun playing around with text.
Oh, good. Yeah, sometimes that happens. You never know. Each session is different depending on who your partner is and what mood you're in, or how you're feeling and stuff like that too. So yeah, definitely. Awesome. Well, it looks like fun. So thank you so much, Anne.
You're welcome.
All right, B. Let's see. And okay, why? It must be close by because it didn't automatically pop up. Oh, there we go. All right, and I don't think Susan's here either.
No, it doesn't seem like it.
Welcome to California. You're here, right?
I'm in California right now. I know. When I signed up for the next one, I had to put 2 locations because I'm kind of bouncing around. So, and when I signed up for this one, I was still in Brooklyn. So anyway, I'm all over the place. But yeah, if for this one, actually, if you could also click on the images, that'd be great, because we did a lot of rectangular pieces as well, except for this one. So I was matched up with Susan. I keep being second artist, which is I actually like, because then I don't have to come up with the first idea. And it's always a surprise to see what someone else sends my way and what I have to do with it. This is my 10th time doing a call and response. And I've really, really enjoyed them. And I basically just let it be. I try to put zero pressure, because if I think too hard about, oh, I need to make a really fabulous work, then I, will procrastinate, or I won't actually be able to do it, or it'll stop me. So I just kind of do whatever comes to mind immediately and as fast as it comes to mind, and just let that be the thing and not judge it. And I love that process. So Susan sent me this a picture of her dog who had just died, which was also interesting because I do a lot of work about death and grief, and she didn't know that, I don't think, or maybe she did, but and it says, it's kind of, the words are jumbled, but you may be out of my sight, but never out of my mind, is how that reads. And so that made me think about how we're all connected. And so I wrote a poem, but I wanted it to be visual, because this is also a visual exchange. And so I found this image, but I also wanted to use only images that I've taken. So this is an image actually from I was at a museum in San Francisco, and they had a collaborative, everybody could add stitches to this collaborative weaving. So the top row is what I added to this collaborative weaving in San Francisco. And so this poem is just it's about grief. It's about being connected to people. It's about how people never really leave us, and they're always threads in our life. And then Susan responded with "We are all connected," that phrase in, I can't count how many languages, but a bunch of languages. And one of which is German, which is a language that I speak. So then I took that and took 2 photographs that I've taken and overlaid them and wrote a shorter poem-esque thing. And then it kind of went dark. I mean, not that grief isn't dark, but that felt more like nostalgic memory, who we are. And then it kind of went, war and invasion. And so, so then I responded, I took the colors of the red and responded to that. Less words as we went, fewer words. And then she responded with this. I was really curious about this image because it looks like she is resting her head on her hand, but also the top of her head looks kind of scaly. So I was very curious about what method she used for this image. But this came back to, as we're all talking about the Roe v. Wade and, bodies and bodily autonomy and all of that. When she wrote, "Where do we go from here?" So I always try to take one phrase, or where do we go from here? I think she got from me, and then she had my body. So I took my body. And so it was always like a word or a phrase that we were moving. I take a lot of pictures of my shadow. And so I was thinking about body and like, where does the body begin and end? And does my shadow count? Is that part of my body? So this was my collage on that. And then this was her response. And she did an Audrey Hepburn quote. She wrote Aubrey Hepburn. I was going to write to her about it. I thought, oh, it's okay. It's fine. And so I saw this composition of her body in nature. So then I responded. This one I felt a little bit like cheating because I put 2 images that I had taken and put them into an online thing that turns them into things that look like paintings. And it felt a little like I was letting the online platform do the work for me visually. I was like, is this my work? But I took another Audrey Hepburn quote to respond to hers. And then she also, she had COVID during all of this. So, and I was sick for the first half of it. So we both were kind of like working at minimal capacity. And so this day she just said that she was really having a hard time. And so this was a picture of her resting. And I thought it was the helping hand. I don't really like this quote, the idea that the helping hand is your own hand. And to me, it kind of implies that there's no other people to help you. especially when she said she was sick with COVID. I don't know, that this kind of saddened me. But I thought about hands and helping hands. And so pretty much my whole process was going through my Google Photos and seeing what images I had taken of things in the past that related. So like the shadow for the last one. And so this one, I looked at every image I've taken, not every image, but images I've taken of my hand or hands, and just did a collage, and that's it. That was our exchange. So I really enjoyed it. I'm always surprised at the directions it goes. It's really fun to, get to respond to someone else and have a new input every time, and never know where it's going to go. If it's going to go dark or light, or be about the body, or be about people, or whatever, so. Anyway, thank you. I love these collaborations. I've already signed up for the next one. I will probably perpetually sign up until you don't have them. So, which I hope is never.
Sometimes I'm like, are we done? And I'm like, but everybody loves it, and it brings people together. And so no, I'll continue doing it, I'm sure. Thank you so much, B. Another great collaboration. And again, talking about the process of where they come from, because again, we see the finished images, but there's so much in between, like the communication and the thought and all of that, which I think is so powerful. So thank you. I'll jump in there. So I partnered with Shelly Silverio, who's my work partner, and one of my great friends. And I had an idea, and she's like, will you go first? I mean, I think she said that the last time. And I'm like, I'll just go first. She'll be happy with that. So I had an idea. I've been wanting to walk more. And so I decided to take photos of text that I see when I go for walks and create like a visual poem from it. And I've seen it done before. I know Pau is here, and like her work is, a lot of this too. And but I love the idea of collage, and of like, I even on my refrigerator, I have like ransom letters, that are magnets that, you can make up text with. So I love that idea. So I just I put them all, like I cropped them, put them in a folder, and I just I started with one word, and then just they came together somehow. I was thinking in the first one, the last word is erection. And I'm like, I think I want to use that in every single image, but that didn't work out. In fact, I think, no, I was gonna say cat maybe in every single image, but it's not. But once I put cat in one, and actually Shelley's was, this is from her bookshelf, she kind of, copied that from her bookshelf, a haiku. And then, yeah, so of course cat was there, and, she has a cat. So it kind of went into the cat area. And so, then the poem became more about the cat and power and control and all of that stuff. And then fairy tales, and she jumped on that and did some of her amazing watercolor drawings, and, focused more on fairy tales. And then I actually wrote a fairy tale, using the text. And then her last one is kind of like a montage of, more of a poetic fairy tale. So it kind of ended there, but I had fun with it. And I kind of feel like I want to do more of these. And it's a great way. It started off with just, a chance or a reason to go for a walk, and so now I'm doing chairs. If you've seen my Instagram, I'm taking photos of chairs. Another reason to go for a walk. So if you ever needed a reason, that's it. So that was it. We had fun with it. We only did like 8. It was like Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'm like, are we done? And she's like, yeah. So sometimes that happens too, when you get busy and stuff like that, and that is totally okay. There's no rules, almost no rules, but yeah. So is there anybody else here who would like to go that hasn't raised their hand? I know there's a couple people who'd like to talk, or I mean, who participated. Yeah, exactly, B. Yep. Yeah. I mean, I know artists whose actual work has come out of, like, whose new series have come out of what they've done in call and response, which is really cool. And, or ideas that inspired them. Yep, totally. Are you just agreeing with that, Power? Do you want to chat? or talk?
Yes,
Oh,
hi,
there we go.
Christine.
Hey.
Let me put the camera. I'm with my phone here. Oh, hi. I've been listening and watching everybody's work. Great to be with you again. I love these collaborations, and as always, it's a great experience, and I enjoyed it once again. So thank you so much for continuing. And it makes me feel like I'm part of something, as you know, and many others. I see familiar faces, which is great. And I'm in Argentina, so it's great always to feel connected with all the artist community and see their work and hear what they have to say about their collaborations, about art, and it's so much fun, and a lot of other things around it. So thank you so much again. This time I was in Peru. I was traveling and working there. So it started a little bumpy because I forgot the time, and I was traveling. So we started like 2 days after the date, but then we keep up. And I wasn't at my studio, and so it was about the travel and about the things that were going on in our everyday life. And it was I do when I don't have the time to have all the work done and a lot of time to think about it, I let it flow, and I don't worry too much about technique. I do photos and I think about the words. As you know, I'm a word-based artist, so this was perfect for me. I really loved it. But it came down to simplicity and what we could do in the middle of other things that were going on in the trip and in the work and in the exchange. And it was really fun to tap into something very simple with the other artist. And let me see, I don't know if I can see the screen with the images. Yeah, here.
Oh, good.
So I can describe a little bit. Yes, so I started with an image from the moon, and it was just to also to figure out where we are and that how small we are, and then she came out with the Scrabble, and then I was in a day with the ocean, and I took a picture and also figure out a phrase right there to get inspired and to send her back. And it was very much and then she was never in the pictures, and of course I wasn't either, but she was always somewhere in the reflection, or somewhere hidden, as you see in the. So I got caught in talking to her about where are you? Where are you? I see you in the reflection. And it was so fun just to see what she responded, and she kept hiding herself in the pictures. And I had a lot of fun trying to figure out her life, and where was she? And then I came back to Buenos Aires. So I said, walk, because when you don't have like you said, it's an inspiring process to just go out and walk and have inspiration hit you while you are in the move. And she got it, and she sent me, and she started walking. So it was very fun in that sense. We influence our a little bit of everyday activity, and we got into that conversation. And it was a fresh air in the middle of a lot of work and serious stuff, for me at least. And it was really fun until we ended up doing the 14th images. She was very much into, let's do, what we are set out to do. And then I respected that. And, I also responded to that impulse of her. And so that was also there. And I felt it was a very good conversation between us, not so much maybe about the depth, you know, of the work itself, but it was so light and flow and easy and fun. And so it was a pleasure again. So of course I'm signing for the next, which is Time, which already sparkling so many ideas. And so that was it. Thank you so much again, Christine, and I'm so happy to be part of it.
You're very welcome, and it's so good to see you.
Yeah, me too, to see you again. Great.
Awesome. Anybody else want to jump in there that hasn't, or did we get everybody? I feel like maybe, let me see. I think we got everybody. Yeah, I know. Let's see. Yeah, I think we got everybody that's here. All right. Well, let me see. I'm going to stop sharing here. Thank you all so much for being part of call and response text. Yeah, the next one, you know, if you haven't signed up for it, I will actually put the, let's see.
This is a great thing, Christine. Would you mind if I like try to like urge some friends like to participate? Because I think they would actually like drive on it, kind of thing.
Totally. No, send it out, post it.
Okay.
You know, no, we'd love more people.
Yeah, that'd be great. I
Absolutely.
mean, I know a few people. I think it'd be nice for them to like participate in it. You know?
Yeah. No, I share the call in like Facebook groups, you know, international and national and all over the place. So yeah, so feel free to share, you know, let's get some new people in and, you know, from all over and, you know, that we can pair up with and, you know, have some fun.
Yeah.
So no, again, thank you all. I'll upload the video into YouTube and I'll put it on the exhibition. So anybody that wants to can watch it there. And it's also on our Facebook page for Shoebox Arts. And yeah, no, thank you. Good to see everybody on the Saturday, right? Saturday afternoon.
Thanks.
Megan, you can go back to bed.
Thank you, Christine. I really enjoyed it.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All righty. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Bye,
You're
everybody.
welcome. Bye.